air. Gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles divine. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE. Where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of FWE as we come off the heels of an exciting Power Up PLE. 2 briefcases are in play, and we now set our sights towards the Guardians of the Ring tournament. I'm Seth Cole alongside my colleague Jack Mitchell. And Jack, we know a majority of the field that's going to be in that tournament. Tonight, we will fill out that bracket completely.
Got a whole lot of epic matchups here on tap tonight for these last chance qualifying matchups for these brackets. You guys don't want to miss this. This is going to be a heck of a build to this big tournament.
The following is an 8-woman tag match. Introducing first, from Richmond, Virginia, the Women's Hardcore Champion, Awesome Brooke.
We kick off the night with a 4 versus 4 tag team matchup in which the 4 winners will be added into this bracket. You can already see a number of names have already filled in the tournament bracket. Individuals that were involved in the ladder match but unsuccessful in retrieving the briefcase, as well as individuals who were the last pinned in their respective elimination tournament qualifiers.
Of course, those will be a bunch of fatal 4-way matches, and the 4 winners will move on to one-on-one matchups. So definitely a practice round, I guess, in a sense, for some of these competitors. Obviously, a 4v4 tag match, we're not going to see anything like that in the tournament itself, but it's a pretty big chance for these people to get themselves ready for the tournament here.
Mention about those fatal 4-ways. We'll be seeing them on both the men's and the women's side during the course of these next 4 weeks.
And her partners, representing the tough guys from the internet, the Women's Universal Champion, Helen Parker.
We want to cut off our ring announcer Mike Rome there. Of course, the semifinals for both the men's and the women's side, we'll see those determined on April 11th at our 3rd iteration of Saturday Night at Springfield. And of course, we will have an official men's and women's Guardians of the Ring champion, if you will, at the PLE on April 16th. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you end up winning the tournament, you have a guaranteed title shot for the Tri-Wizard Championship on the men's side, the Women's Universal Championship on the women's side at Combat Evolved. The Women's Universal Champion, Elastigirl, is in this matchup tonight. What happens if she's on the winning team, goes on to win the tournament? Does she even have to defend her title?
I have no idea. Actually, quite an interesting scenario that you've just raised there. I actually have no idea what the ruling would be in that case, but I think we would also be remiss to mention what happened at Power Up too, because we talk about, you know, the 2 briefcases are now back in play, but at the same time, all the title changes that we had, that was just one of them. Elastigirl, the new Women's Universal Champion. I think we had the Female Fighting Championship change hands, among others.
Multiple titles end up changing hands in that PLE. We ended up having a brand new Intercontinental Champion in Dylan Poteet. He was able to defeat Hades. So it was not exactly the best of nights to be going in as a champion with the hopes of retaining their gold. You ended up seeing a couple of individuals retain the titles, one by dubious means, and will more than likely have some fallout from that in the next couple of weeks. But Evil Queen gonna join forces here with Autumn Brooks and Elastigirl. One of the unique things about this as well is both on the men's and the women's side in these respective tag matches, there are going to be people maybe that have to team up with each other that maybe don't like each other.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. That if I could give any of them advice, just please let Mike Roman do his job here. If I could give any of them advice, just sit there and deal with it. Honestly, everybody's got the same goal on your tag team. You're gonna have to eventually fight against each other at some point in the tournament if you move along far enough. So just deal with it. Face the reality that you're gonna have to work together for the time being in order to make it work long term.
You were saying?
What's his name?
So 4 women will move on into the tournament bracket here in this matchup. 1 woman will still yet to be determined, and that's going to be later on here this evening, as we're going to have both a men's and a women's 20 individual over the top rope Royal Rumble type LCQ matchups. And you gotta wonder if maybe, just maybe, some of the women that are involved in this matchup that maybe don't end up winning, if maybe they put themselves in that LCQ for a second shot.
I have a feeling like they would, but it also raises the question of some other wild card participants, if you will. Some people that have not really been involved in these power-up qualifiers or really any other way of getting involved in these matchups. Somebody who's completely off of our radars might force their way into that LCQ match.
Representing the bad girls from out of this world, Girl Dynamite!
Gamora, a very well-versed tag team individual here on the FWE women's roster. You know, you kind of almost think that obviously on different sides of the ring there's going to be egos and everything, but you gotta wonder, depending on who's on Gamora's side of the ring tonight, if maybe they kind of look at her as a leader of the team, since she's been here before, held tag team championship gold with her sister Gamora as the Daughters of Thanos.
And she's done pretty well in tournaments too, I can speak to that fact.
Yes, indeed.
And representing the Disciples of Darkness from the pits of hell, the Manifestation!
And you know, I think we could easily put the Guardians of the Ring tournament in the same conversation of what we talked about back during the Power Up PLE, back during the Royal Brawl PLE. It's an opportunity to skyrocket your career, add to your resume. It's an opportunity to go to Combat Evolved to fight for the richest prize in the respective men's and women's divisions.
I mean, that's a great point. It's not necessarily the same power, I would say, as having the power of briefcase, because you can cash in on that briefcase anytime, any place, but a guaranteed world championship match is nothing to scoff at.
And representing the Spitfire Warriors from another time, one half of the Women's Superstar Tag Team Champions, Elsa!
We talked about Gamora, a former tag team champion. How about one of the current tag team champions in Elsa, 2-time women's Disney tag team champion, along with her sister Anna, who is already locked into the tournament as she participated this past week in the Power Up PLE ladder match. Big opportunity here tonight. If Elsa and her team can move on, that's 2 of Team Let It Go in that tournament, increases the odds at least of maybe one of them walking away with that title shot at the Combat Evolved PLE.
I don't remember the exact formation of the bracket, but it almost makes me wonder what the possibility could be that we see those 2 fight in the finals. It could happen.
And from the internet, Kimberly!
Well, on the same side, Shigo is also involved in the bracket, also participated in that ladder match. Her counterpart, Kim Possible, there. Opportunity here to lock herself into the field and make it 2 chances for a member of Toxic Attraction to be able to take this. I'm kind of looking at the field here, and obviously you can't really pick favorites, but I'm seeing on one side of the ring 3 women that either are currently holding or have formerly held tag team championship gold. So if you're looking at some type of continuity, some kind of chemistry to be found, maybe you have to look in the side of Kim Possible, Elsa, Maleficent, and Gamora.
That's a great point. I mean, when they've all had tag team championships in the past, that means they know how to work well within the tag team. So you don't want to write off Elastigirl, but that's a singles championship compared to the other tag team titles. But here we go. The 4 women who win this match are going to be the ones who advance to fill in 4 of the 5 remaining spots in the bracket.
And of the 8 women participating in this matchup, 3 coming into this matchup holding championship gold. Elsa, one half of the women's Disney Tag Team Champions. Autumn Brooks, who's in the ring right now with Gamora, the current women's Rotten to the Hardcore champion. And of course, Elastigirl, who just recently at the Power Up PLE won the Women's Universal Championship.
Definitely impressive, too, when you consider the fact that Poison Ivy selected Elastigirl as her opponent in that matchup.
It's always interesting, though. You kind of think about women on the roster, and this was a thing that Poison Ivy was very much in favor of, was giving women an opportunity at the title that hadn't really been able to get into the title conversation. We'd seen her defend the title against her teammate Harley Quinn, against Ursula, but she ended up choosing who she wanted to face at the Power Up PLE. Elastigirl was someone that had never been a #1 contender for the Women's Universal Championship. It kind of makes you wonder what other women we haven't seen be able to fight for that title that could be the proverbial diamond in the rough and could be a future champion as well.
And you just never know. People who have never gotten their opportunities before might take them and run with them whenever they get them.
Maleficent with an armbar, and oh wow, the entirety of Maleficent's team coming in here to try and help out.
And this is where I don't envy our referee Ernest Wright, because there's so much chaos with everybody rushing in to try to either break up the pin or stop the pin from being broken up.
I believe Autumn and Maleficent are the 2 legal participants still at this juncture as Autumn Brooks hoists Maleficent up. Little Snake Eyes there. Now goes in for the cover. A little lackadaisical cover there with the forearm in the face, and the powerful Maleficent able to kick out.
So going for a hot tag. She had a little bit of ground to cover, but big kick there by Elsa as she can move the match fresh.
Irish whipped off the ropes. Big forearm right under the jaw here by Elsa, going for an early cover on Autumn. And Yzma not going to allow that pinfall to take place. We're seeing some rather early covers here out of these teams. Maybe a little sense of desperation, or is this all mind games in the early going?
Could be a bit of both. I mean, I think it's a little too early in the matchup to call it desperation, but at the same time, I feel like maybe you consider the ego factor as well. Some of these women want to be the one who scores the winning pinfall or gets the winning submission in order to win the matchup and send their entire team to the tournament.
Boy, look out in front of us here. You had Evil Queen, Maleficent, all mixing it up out here. Yzma was in the center of all that. The referee really only has to worry about the 2 legal participants inside of the ring. All that goes on outside is just chaos that doesn't necessarily have to get himself involved in, but doesn't mean that these 4 women on one side and the 4 women on the other side aren't going to be afraid to lock up, even if they're not the legal participants.
I think that's the sense early on. I feel like if you're Ernest Wright, you just have to do your best to try to keep track of who's legal as best as you possibly can. Also got to worry about those countouts too. If you stay in the ring for too long after you become illegal, you get counted out and lose the match for your team. And if you lose the match for your team, I feel like that can also have some repercussions. Some people who are in your tag team in this matchup might not be too pleased with you that you're costing a lot of people the chance to enter this tournament.
You think that the chemistry's on a rocky road right now. Just wait if you're the one that takes the pinfall for your team.
Might not want to show up to work next week.
No, might not. Also might not if you end up putting yourself in that LCQ Royal Rumble later on tonight. Better not plan on anybody working with you.
That's for sure.
Gamora disposing of Evil Queen, and now another facebuster to Elastigirl, the current Women's Universal Champion. And of course, we've already kind of touched on this. An interesting scenario if Elastigirl and her team end up winning and getting put into the tournament. Let's say that Elastigirl goes on to win the tournament overall. Well, you win the tournament, you get a guaranteed title shot at the champion at Combat Evolved. Elastigirl is the champion, so what's the scenario there?
I would have to imagine, I'm not totally sure, maybe she gets her own opportunity to name her opponent. I mean, there has to be a title defense.
Disaster kick there, springboard off the middle rope by Elastigirl, who I think kind of shocked everybody when she was able to pin Poison Ivy to become the Women's Universal Champion for the first time ever, and that was after Poison Ivy had had a very lengthy title reign, had defended that title numerous times. It was actually going into Power Up that she had succeeded in defending that title for an even 100 days.
Which is no small feat, because 100 days as champion, that's triple digits, so credit where it's due.
Of course, as well, we should mention that the women that are in this matchup and the men that will be in the respective 4 versus 4 tag team matchup in just a few moments after this matchup concludes as well. All these women participated in those respective qualifying eliminator matchups. As Hold the Phone here, covered by Elastigirl after a knee to Kim Possible. Gamora will break that up. They were all drawn at random to participate in this tag team matchup. It'll be the same for the men's side. Most of the other women that didn't make the cut here in this tag match, we're going to be seeing them in that LCQ Royal Rumble match. Same for the men as well.
Elastigirl getting dropped with some of these vicious kicks and knees by Kim Possible, who's going up top. Knee drop connects into the cover.
Pinpointed, and now Evil Queen goes in to break it up. Saw Maleficent was going to go in to try and stop Evil Queen. And now Kim Possible with the tag into Gamora, as Elastigirl has not moved since that knee from the top rope by Kim Possible.
Shots there from Gamora, just trying to wear her opponent down. I mean, this is also something worth considering as well. Now, this is just a tag match to get into the tournament, as that springboard did not connect. Oh, big kick there. But something I was going to mention, if Elastigirl maybe gets pinned, but she's going to go into the cover here. Kick out at 2, that could have been it. But if Elastigirl is the one who gets pinned, maybe does that put somebody else in line for a future Women's World Title shot?
It's a really good question, because it's not a guarantee that Elastigirl would be the champion by the time we get to Combat Evolved. I mean, we're talking, what, over a month's time between now and that PLE? No, it's actually further than that. Combat Evolved's not going to be till July, so there's a lot that can take place. I mean, heck, we got Saturday in Springfield coming up here. We've got Guardians of the Ring, of course. Bash at Tatooine in between that and Combat Evolved on May 21st. So, to your point, a lot can change between now and that Combat Evolved PLE, as a reverse Alabama slam there by Maleficent, and now going to lock in the Karafuda clutch.
There's a lot going on in the ring right now. I've honestly lost track of who's legal and who's not.
Actually, my mistake, that was the camel clutch that Maleficent calls the Dragon's Wings.
I think it is these two, Maleficent and Autumn, who are the legal participants right now.
Ernest Wright seems to feel that's the case, because he hasn't ordered either of them to leave the ring.
Cover is in. Ooh, that could have been it.
Kick out by Autumn Brooks at 2. Certainly seeming like it's going to be difficult to get a pinfall or submission here. You no sooner have the cover on somebody, and the Horde from the other side rushes in to break it up.
Exactly. One thing I've noticed, too, is that a couple participants haven't really gotten that active in the match. I haven't really seen people like Yzma or the Evil Queen get involved.
And right on cue,
there we go.
Yzma is tagged in.
It's almost like they can hear me from here. I guess they can if it wasn't hard enough.
Believe that Maleficent just barely was able to make the tag there.
Here we go.
To Kim Possible, and now Kim Possible laying in the 10 beats of the Batterum to Autumn Brooks. It's been a while since we've seen that here in an FWE ring.
Yeah, for once we can't call it overused. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
maybe now it's starting to get overused.
Right as I say something, come on.
This is smart by Kim Possible, though, because I believe Yzma is still the legal participant for her team, and if Kim Possible can wipe out all of her teammates, oh, how about 3 times? Good grief! This is like Oprah. You get a 10 beats, you get a 10 beats.
We're at a 7 count right now. Okay, Yzma's back in the ring. I was going to say, Yzma was getting pretty close to being counted out there.
Kim Possible was cleaning house of the rest of Yzma's teammates there, which would have been smart if she was able to then get a pinfall or a submission on Yzma. Now Evil Queen tagged in and meets Kim Possible with a big boot to the face.
I guess somehow 30 beats in the battery weren't enough. Sleeper's locked in.
Jawbreaker counter to get out of that sleeper submission by Kim Possible. Now off the middle rope, springboard forearm. Drop kick to follow up.
Nice reversal there by Kim Possible. The Queen in danger. And fatigue definitely has to start becoming a factor in this matchup, especially with all the fighting we've seen taking place ringside. It feels like one big move could be all it takes, provided that there's not a bunch of people running into the ring to try to break it up.
Again, this is a last-ditch effort for all 8 of these women. It's a massive super kick by Kim Possible. Turns out the lights of Evil Queen and Elastigirl, Women's Universal Champion, gonna break that up, but and then gets dropped by Kim Possible. It's a last-ditch opportunity here for all 8 of these women to try and get themselves into one of those to-be-determined slots in the Guardians of the Ring bracket.
I mean, this is last-ditch effort number 1. I feel like the true last-ditch effort is going to be at the Royal Rumble-style match we have later on tonight. Massive kick again.
Very Straight's got to get Elastigirl out of the ring. She is not legal. Evil Queen is.
Bit of a delayed count there as she was recovering from that attack.
This Kim Possible has got Evil Queen up and down with the sit-down powerbomb. Massive air, but misses with the springboard moonsault. Okay, well, it is, well, okay.
Only one.
Kim Possible says, I'm the only one that's allowed to do that tonight.
Big shot to the back of the head. And Queen going to go for a tag. I feel like Kim Possible desperately needs a tag at some point too. She's been in here for a while.
Fisherman suplex by Yzma. Now setting Kim Possible up for something.
Oh!
Massive suplex there. Cover is in by Yzma. Her teammates are not coming in to save her, and she kicks out at 2.
That could have been it. You see the frustration from Yzma. She thought that could have been it.
Evil Queen was trying to run interference. None of Kim Possible's teammates came in to try to break up that pinfall there. So if Kim Possible had not kicked out very easily, it would have been Brooks, Elastigirl, Evil Queen, and Yzma moving into the tournament. Now chicken wing submission locked in here on Kim Possible. Wrong part of town. Is Kim gonna tap out?
She's in all kinds of danger, but I think she barely worked her way out of it. Either that or Autumn released the hold.
Big knee under the jaw. Kim Possible now rolling over to a corner closer to where she needs to be, but still not to her corner to make a tag.
Pretty frustrating feeling, pretty demoralizing when you're stuck in the wrong part of town during a tag team match. Nice reversal there. This could be her window of opportunity. This is even better. You get Autumn stuck in the wrong part of town.
Back elbow in the corner there. Oh, and now Gamora headbutt.
Oh!
It's like headbutting a bowling ball. It just dropped Autumn Brooks down to the mat, and that'll buy Kim Possible a little extra time here.
She was stunned from one of those last attacks. Doesn't go for any kind of attack, though. Now the cover's in.
Big kick to the side of the head of Kim Possible. Cover in, and that's going to do it. A little surprising, maybe, that on 2 attempts of a pinfall there, the teammates did not come in to help Kim Possible. It's going to cost them, though, as there you see it. The names now fill in the bracket. Autumn Brooks, Elastigirl, Yzma, and Evil Queen have locked themselves into the Women's Guardians of the Ring tournament. One spot yet to be determined.
Last spot will be determined later on in the night. Got a Royal Rumble match later on tonight. The men's 4-on-4 tag team match is coming up after the break.
Raise your hands, let the fire ignite. Bound by fate, we'll win this fight. Through the storm, hear the echoes cling. Side by side, we're the guardians of the ring.
The following contest is an 8-man tag match. Introducing first, representing the Rockers from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 220 pounds. Anthony!
Well, the second of our 8 individual tag team matchup here tonight. Anthony McCurry hoping he and his team can advance. There you see those that are currently locked into the tournament. The slots still to be determined in this matchup coming up next, as well as the men's LCQ Royal Rumble match.
Good to see my name on this bracket. That means I'm in the running for a potential guarantee at the Tri-Wizard Championship later on. But be a chance for me to do some scouting in this matchup as well. And it should be a pretty interesting match on the men's side as well. Some unique tag team alliances that we have going forward.
Notice that in your fatal 4-way, a familiar foe in Dylan Young. And speaking of familiar foes,
Speaking of familiar, we're just going to bring it all back, aren't we?
143 pounds.
well, I'd say no matter what type of a tag team you're on, there's no way you're going to be able to get along with Thanos. However, I would say that you probably like your odds when you have a powerhouse on your team.
Yeah, I mean, if he was on your side and you had no choice but to work with him, I would say just, again, like I said on the women's matchup, just deal with it for the time being because you have the same goal in mind at the end of the day.
Of course, the last time we saw Thanos, and I hate to bring it back to you, but
My back still kind of hurts a little bit.
I'm sure it does. Saw him victorious against you in that Hell in a Cell matchup back at Clash at Coruscant. And he would love to get into this tournament here with an opportunity to maybe get into the world title picture. Speaking of that Tri-Wizard Championship, it was great to see the Tri-Wizard champion RJ Bishop back inside of an FWE arena. We saw him flanking Dylan Poteet in his gaining the Intercontinental Championship last week at the Power Up PLE, and you got to think that as we progress through these upcoming qualifying matchups, and of course the tournament begins next week, he will be keeping a very close eye on who the eventual winner can be. However, we talk about it back in that women's matchup, there's not a guarantee that RJ will be the champ by the time we get to Combat Evolved.
Representing the corporation from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 126 pounds, Shaggy Rogers.
Not seen Shaggy in action for a little while either. Again, hasn't really been since that Power Up qualifying match. So quite the team that we have so far in this tag team match to get this one started. You got Anthony McCurry, Thanos, and Shaggy now on the same team.
You know, Anthony, I can see having the bravery of teaming up maybe with Thanos. Shaggy, I'm not so sure. I mean, he gets spooked at just the smallest things.
Maybe Thanos offered him a buffet after the match.
Maybe.
And you never know what they have in catering.
Well, Shaggy, a former Triwizard champion in his own right, if he's on the winning team tonight, gets put in the field, may have an opportunity to win the tournament at the Guardians of the Ring PLE, go on to Combat Evolved, and maybe be the second individual to hold the Triwizard Championship more than once. The only individual to do that, Dylan Young, who is in the tournament already as well, a 3-time Triwizard champ.
From Camelot, weighing in at 165 pounds,
Well, kind of interesting looking over my notes from the winning team on the women's side just moments ago. If we had ended up having the opposite team win, we would have had 2 tag teams that would have had both their competitors in the respective tournaments. That is not the case. Well, opportunity here for Flynn Rider of the Outsiders to join his tag team partner Aladdin, who's already locked into the tournament bracket field.
And we have the same thing on the other team. I'll bring that up later on when we see the members introduced. But we do have some of those possibilities existing on the other side of things as well. So I feel like I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that means we're gonna have at least 1 tag team with 2 members in.
I mean, just look at this group of 4. Who would have had this on a bingo card?
I certainly would.
representing the Queeners from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 173 pounds, Marco!
Former men's Disney Tag Team champion, along with his brother Luigi, who is also already locked into the tournament.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Luigi is in the same Fatal 4-Way with yourself and Dylan Young, and there is a to-be-determined slot. Now, the to-be-determined slots are based off of random of the respective individuals on each team. There could be a scenario if Mario is on the winning team tonight that he and his brother could make up 50% of that Fatal 4-Way match.
I feel like I should be a little bit concerned. You'd think they might try to work together during that match.
Nah.
But we've also seen people neglect their alliances in the past.
That's true.
From Manchester, England, weighing in at 100 pounds,
Harry Potter, a former Wayfinder Cruiser champion. We've seen him and the Order of the Phoenix, along with Albus Dumbledore and Hagrid, try on multiple occasions to kind of establish a footing here as a faction. Harry were able to be on the winning team here tonight, lock himself into that Guardians of the Ring tournament, maybe go on to win the whole thing and have a guaranteed title shot at the Combat Evolved PLE. And we talk about with gold comes power, and you gotta think that that's at the forefront of Harry Potter's mind.
Absolutely. I mean, as somebody who's held 2 singles titles at the same time, there absolutely comes a lot of power with that responsibility, but at the same time, it can be pretty on their mental, so you kind of have to stay as sharp as you possibly can, especially when you end up getting knocked down and you lose those titles.
Harry Potter ended up eventually losing that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship to Carson Gum, who most recently lost the title to, I can't believe I am saying this, Elmo is walking around backstage with the Cruiserweight Championship, and Elmo is actually another individual who is locked into the tournament bracket already.
How did we allow this again?
I don't know.
And from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds, Carlos Cody.
Texas native Carlos Zimmerman. We talk about what getting yourself into a tournament like this and going on to win it can do for your career. I feel like we've talked about Carlos. There's been a couple of times where we've thought maybe this is the moment for him to be able to break out, and it hasn't quite yet come to fruition. Maybe this is the start. Who knows?
Yeah, you and I were thinking about the same thing. Carlos is somebody who we've talked about a lot in terms of #1 contendership spots as well. I mean, we saw him involved in that fatal four-way matchup that took place at Paramount. This would be a golden opportunity for him to put himself on the map. Speaking of people who put themselves on the map,
From Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in at 215 pounds, the mailman, Dylan
Well, interesting, we don't see him coming out with the belt around his waist, but that is indeed the new Intercontinental Champion Dylan Poteet, who won the belt from Hades just 1 week ago at the Power Up PLE, his first title here in FWE.
I almost wonder if it's a mental thing too. Maybe he decided he was going to leave the belt in the back because he knows what title he's really focused on trying to win. That being the Triwizard Championship. Again, you're guaranteed a Triwizard Championship match if you win this tournament. It's a long, arduous road to get there, and it's even harder when you're not in the situation that I'm in, where you just have to wait to see who's going to be in your fatal four-way. You have to start in one of these LCQs to try to see if you can get in.
So same deal as it was before in the women's matchup. One of these two teams, comprised of 4 men, is going to lock themselves up in those to-be-determined slots in the bracket for the Guardians of the Ring tournament. Is a bit of a mismatch here with Mario and Thanos after Anthony with a quick tag to the Titan.
You say a bit of a mismatch. Thanos towers over everybody in this thing. Mario's certainly not going to back down from that challenge, though.
Anthony back in, Mario with the advantage. Both of these men have formerly held the men's Disney tag team titles. Anthony back when he was a member of the family with Cole Eastwood. Of course, Mario with his brother Luigi. They eventually would lose the titles back to the current champions, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as, oh my goodness, Poteet breaks it up, immediately gets hit with a drop kick. Carlos with a double axe handle. It's chaos.
It's madness. And Carlos, look at the amount of air he was able to catch when going for that double axe handle. Now Mario, I think it's Mario and Anthony who are the legal participants. So
I think you're right.
everybody's going to eventually clear their way out of the ring.
Carlos went all the way over to the other side of the ring there to try and chase down Flynn Rider, as now Mario with the tag into Harry Potter. That jawbreaker on Anthony goes in for the cover and a kick out at 1.
Shaggy thought about trying to break that up. He was a split second too late, though.
I don't think Anthony's realizing that Mario is not the legal participant. It's going to cost him as a code breaker by Harry Potter.
I'm not sure if he knew or not, or if he was just too distracted by Mario, because Mario was in there threatening to land some cheap shots on his tag team partners. Oh. Again, he tags Thanos in.
Yeah, interesting. So far on that side, the tags have only been between Anthony and Thanos. Shaggy and Flynn have not been tagged in yet.
Oh, look out. That's a rough collision there with the turnbuckle pads there for Harry.
And then you've got the force of Thanos behind it all.
Oh, again.
Just ragdolling him.
Oh, boy. Cover is in. I mean, this is just a brutal onslaught by Thanos. That very much could have been it, but Harry going to kick out at 1. Still plenty of life.
Next the tag in comes Carlos Zimmerman, and a shoulder tackle going to take down Thanos. Now's got a vice grip there on the throat.
Oh.
And a shot right to the midsection there. Big clothesline, and Thanos is down. Big power game here. Deceptive power from Carlos Zimmerman, and he's going to drop Thanos with a discus forearm.
Nobody's taller than you when they're horizontal, so Carlos definitely doing a good job taking advantage of having Thanos on the ground. I'm going to tag Harry back in.
Frequent tags. I mean, you mentioned about the fact that Thanos towers over everybody, so you got to think, well, they've got him in the ring and got the advantage. The other side's going to do everything they can to keep him down, try and take him out of the conversation here, not let him be a factor.
I can speak from experience. Do not let up on this guy. Otherwise, he'll do this.
Massive fall-away slam, nearly ended up in the lap of the referee, Ernest Wright.
Cheap shot there on Dylan Pote, and I feel like that's something else that this team might need to consider, because Pote was able to take down Hades in what was basically a squash match for the Intercontinental title, so you would think that they might rely on a guy like Dylan Pote to take care of a giant alien like Thanos.
He's also the only individual in this matchup that's coming in with championship gold around his waist. Everybody else, from Mario to Anthony to Shaggy, we mentioned the word former in front of their names in terms of champions.
Thanos nearly getting counted out here. Able to work his way back into the ring, and Harry took the advantage to land some cheap shots on his opponents.
It's a middle rope stunner there on Flynn Rider. Had a trifecta of forearms, as you mentioned, to every single one of Thanos' teammates. Didn't seem to really have much effect on any of them. That stunner to Flynn Rider did. And look at Harry backing up here from Thanos.
I think he suckered him in. Look out here.
Carlos takes to the skies, and now Thanos desperately goes for the tag. Here comes the former Tri-Wizard champion in Shaggy Rogers.
Held that title for a cup of coffee, but Shaggy's still capable of some surprising offense. Definitely will try to use that to his advantage in this matchup, but with all the madness surrounding the ring, I don't know how much of a chance he's going to get to use it.
Shaggy ended up winning the Tri-Wizard Championship back in the very early days of FWE at the very first PLE of Fantasia in a ladder match. He would then lose it the following week back to Dylan Young.
Oh, Shaggy
in
gonna go for a ride here.
Spot. Carlos is not from Alabama, he's from Texas, but that was the reverse Alabama slam, and it gets a 2 count with Thanos breaking it up.
Thanos gonna meet some offense as he gets tossed out of the ring.
We're gonna see a lot of that later on tonight. Individuals getting tossed over the top rope in both the men's and the women's respective LCQ Royal Rumbles to get that final spot in each one of the bracket tournaments.
Now there's more chaos. People are going inside and outside of the ring. I'm again losing track of who's legal.
No, Shaggy at least is one of them. Mario, I believe, might be the other.
I don't see any more countouts going on there. Mario's stuck in the tree of woe.
Oh! Backstabber there after being grapevined on the top rope. Right to the lower spine of Mario, and now first time we see Flynn Rider into the matchup, as he could probably tell us Mario's shoe size.
I'm gonna go for the spinning airplane head scissors. These are the 2 participants in this matchup, which is, hold that thought, covers in. Be broken up at 2. These are the 2 participants in this matchup who are the reason why we're guaranteed to have 2 members of at least one tag team on the same side, or in the same part of the bracket.
Great point. If Flynn's team wins, you've got both members of the
Flynn knees up.
Outsiders. If Mario wins, you got both members of the Mario Brothers.
Maybe not necessarily the same part of the bracket, but I think you guys get my point.
Decreases the odds, that's for sure. Much like we mentioned on the women's side as well, whoever we end up seeing not move on to the bracket by winning this matchup, we could see the 4 men on the losing side of this matchup still participating in that Royal Rumble match later on.
Here comes Dylan Pote. First appearance for him in the ring as the Intercontinental Champion. And he's taking it right to Anthony.
A couple of Mid-Easterners going at it, if you will, here. Anthony out of Virginia, Dylan Pote out of the state of Kentucky. Pote with a slam there to Anthony, and now going up top. What is Pote thinking here? Got to be feeling good, fresh off of his title victory at the Power PLE, as he'll hit a Hurricane Rana from the middle rope.
Definitely feeling good, and he'll make sure he doesn't spend himself too much. I mean, no guarantees that you're not going to have to defend that Intercontinental Championship at some point down the road during this tournament, so you might as well try to keep yourself as fresh as you can.
I mean, keep in mind as well as here's the cover by Carlos Zimmerman after just a simple kick to the back of the head of Anthony McCurry and kick out at 1. I mean, keep this in mind as well. No title is safe after this Power Up PLE. We've got Moana walking around with a briefcase on the women's side. William Turner walking around with a briefcase on the men's side. Guaranteed title shot for any title, any place, anytime. So nobody is safe. Once again, all the champions have the targets on their backs.
I mean, when we're done here, you can see William Turner running down to the ring and trying to cash in on Pote.
You could.
Big kick to the head. Another tag to Thanos with Anthony. Definitely an unlikely alliance, to say the least, but I think they both kind of realize they have to work with one another in this matchup because the goal at the end of the day remains the same.
Got to put all egos to the side and kind of have the mentality as a massive Uranagi slam by Thanos, but you got to have the mentality of the enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point in time. As there's a massive choke slam from Thanos to Carlos Zimmerman. Cover is in and Poteet's not going to allow it.
Wasted no time getting into the ring to break that one up as Shaggy's going to get tagged in. I mean, yeah, that big choke slam, it very well could have been lights out if there was nobody on the ring to try to rush in and break it up.
Now Carlos and Shaggy on the outside of the ring. Back body drop on the apron.
He's not done dishing out the punishment to Shaggy's back as there's a power slam, or a power bomb. Not necessarily sure what the result would be if we have a double count out.
I'm not sure either, to be honest with you. Let's hope we don't get to that scenario.
Well, we're halfway to it right now. These two better get back in the ring.
Shaggy down. Carlos still on his feet. Now going to make his way back into the ring here. Referee a count of 8 and Shaggy's back in. So fortunately we avoided that. That would have been a headache and a half, I think, for the FWE Commissioner Woody to have to deal with.
I feel like Woody's the kind of guy who would just call in and say, restart the match. We're not
Probably.
doing this by count out.
I mean, we're trying to determine tonight the entire field for the respective tournaments. So that would seem like the thing to do. Massive mule kick by Anthony McCurry. Cover in here on Carlos, and Mario gonna break it up.
And Luigi, or not Luigi, I'm getting my greenkeeper confused. Shaggy got right back into the ring to try to avoid that breakup as Mario just got dropped.
Float over facebuster there by Anthony to Mario. And Carlos bought a little bit of time there, hits a Hurricane Rana. Cover is in. That foot could be under the bottom rope, but doesn't matter. Thanos is going to break it up. And again, just to be clear here, when we're seeing these individuals running in and breaking up these pinfalls and submissions, they're not doing it to save their partner. They're doing it to save their own chance of being involved in the Guardians of the Ring tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, that's sort of the thing that you have to realize is that you got to do whatever it takes, even if it means tagging with somebody that you would never dream of tagging with. If that's what it takes to qualify for this tournament and get a world title shot, that's what you got to do.
A little gutsy there by Carlos to run Anthony into enemy territory into that corner. Somebody could have easily snuck a tag, but Anthony with the knee up into the side of the head of Carlos, and that is going to do it.
How about the members of the Rockers tonight?
Wow.
Autumn got the winning pinfall in the last matchup. Anthony gets the winning pinfall in this one, and there you see the TBD spots are filled in. Here is your full look at the men's Guardians of the Ring tournament.
Only one to be determined, and that's going to be in that Royal Rumble type matchup coming up here. 20 men will vie for that final spot in the men's Guardians of the Ring tournament. Same will be said for the women's side, and that women's LCQ Royal Rumble match is coming up right after this break.
Raise your hands, let the fire ignite. Bound by fate, we'll win this fight. Through the storm, hear the echoes cling. Side by side, we're the Guardians of the Ring.
Introducing the participants. First, from overseas, the Big Switch.
As we get ready here to determine the final woman that will take part in this year's Guardians of the Ring tournament, 20-woman over-the-top rope Royal Rumble matchup, very similar to the Royal Rumble match we had back on Christmas Day, the Royal Rumble match we had back at Royal Brawl. One of the biggest things top of the list, do not get an early draw. That was not the case for Ursula, who comes in at number 1.
I feel like the joke is right there. I might as well just say it once again. Ursula, the
It's on a
poor
silver
unfortunate
plate, take
soul.
it.
The poor unfortunate soul who drew number 1 in this matchup. That means she's got to outlast 19 other women to try to win this matchup.
Saw Ursula come up short when she fought for the Women's Universal Championship against Poison Ivy. If she can run the table, she might be able, oh, hold the phone.
Oh boy.
Representing the Disciples of Darkness from the pits of hell, the Manifestation.
Now this is interesting on 2 counts here, Jack. Number 1, we've already seen Maleficent tonight. She was on the losing side in that 4-on-4 tag team matchup. The second thing, she was actually a tag team partner of Ursula. Back when Ursula wanted another title shot at Poison Ivy, she had to win a tag team matchup, and Maleficent was her tag team partner. They were unsuccessful, so you gotta think that maybe the wounds are still a little fresh between those two.
This is probably one of the spiciest starts to a Royal Rumble style matchup I think we've ever seen. These two are going to go right at it. Obviously, with this being a Royal Rumble style matchup, that means opponents have to go over the top rope and both feet must hit the floor for them to be eliminated. Last person left standing advances to the Guardians of the Ring tournament. They'll be the 16th and final participant.
I get what you're saying about a spicy start. I will take that and raise you RJ Bishop, Nick Gunther at Royal Brawl.
That is fair. That is very fair.
Look at this, Maleficent trying to immediately eliminate Ursula. This is smart. If you're able to get your opponent out very quickly, that'll give you time to be able to rest. I believe it's a minute and a half before the next participant will come out from behind that corner. So you can use all of that downtime to your advantage to regain whatever strength you might have used up in your matchup with the individual here at entries 1 and 2.
It's also worth noting as well, the rule that we have with these Royal Rumble style matchups here in FWE is that only 8 women can be in the ring at the same time before that counter, that timer pauses. So as soon as there are 8 individuals inside the ring, it's going to be a bit of an opportunity for people to rest up and pay a bit more attention. But here comes entry number 3.
And there goes Ursula!
Oh!
Has been eliminated.
That was so fast.
Just like that, Ursula is gone. Snow White, the next competitor to come in against Maleficent, draws entry number 3 in this matchup.
I mean, that was shocking how fast that elimination was, but now Snow White trying to one-up that and get a quick elimination on Maleficent. She's going to deny that.
We saw Evil Queen advance her way into the tournament in that 4-on-4 tag team matchup earlier on tonight. Snow White would like to thwart her efforts by locking herself into the tournament as well, but got a long road to toe here. Winner of this matchup will be involved in the Fatal 4-Way that currently is comprised of Jasmine, the Women's Universal Champion Elastigirl, Evil Queen. We've already determined the other 3 Fatal 4-Ways based off of that tag team matchup earlier on tonight. We now know it's going to be Autumn Brooks, Elizabeth Swan, Anna, and Kita. It'll be Shigo taking on Ariel, Yzma, and Rapunzel. And the final Fatal 4-Way matchup, Susan Storm, Mulan, Katniss Everdeen, and Shuri.
I think this tournament, it really, I think, displays that you have to be very versatile in order to win this tournament, because you start out with a Fatal 4-Way, and that's a pretty brutal match type as well. There's no DQ, no countouts or anything like that, but then those will become factors when you get further along into the tournament, the one-on-one matches in the semifinals and the finals.
At entry number 4, it's going to be former Disney Tag Team Champion, representative of the Disney Queens, Hello Bell.
I'm going to wrench on the arm of Maleficent. I'm going
List
to lock up with Snow White.
DDT there, and the list I just gave you too, there are already 2 representatives of the Disney Queens locked in Jasmine and Rapunzel. It could really increase the odds if you're Belle and able to advance your way here in this Royal Rumble matchup as well. Actually, correction, there are 3 representatives of the Disney Queens. I failed to mention Ariel.
There you go. Any possibilities? There could still be some possibilities of having 2 different members of the same tag team in the same tournament. Some of those possibilities could be reality after we're done here tonight.
4 women have entered so far, only 1 elimination, that being the number 1 entry in Ursula.
Oh my goodness.
What the heck was that?
I have never seen that move before. Now I want to try to replicate it, and I don't think I can.
It was like an attempt at a German suplex. It's now natural selection from Snow White to Belle, but it was like she let go of the German suplex halfway through the move.
It made an even more devastating landing.
This would have to be Kim Possible, who ended up taking the pinfall for her team earlier on tonight in that tag team matchup. We know Shigo's already locked in, and look at this, gonna lock up with one of her partners from that tag team matchup.
I was just getting ready to say they were on the same team in that matchup earlier tonight, and I have to feel like they might not have been too pleased with Kim Possible too, because she never went for any tags. Multiple opportunities to do so, she never went for it. Ended up costing her team the match.
She was in that matchup for a majority of the latter half as well for her team, so you have to think got to be coming in here just, what, maybe about half an hour removed from that tag team matchup, cannot be coming in here at 100% and did not get the benefit of a late draw either.
Yeah, that's bad enough when you're going into a Royal Rumble style matchup on the same night that you've already had a match that you were in for the majority of, but then you factor in that she has an early entry draw. She's going to be having to play the endurance game in this match.
Big running knee there from Snow White. Maleficent in the corner. Kim Possible looking to eliminate her. And she's going to get it done. Wow. So maybe not as worn out as we thought.
I haven't seen too many eliminations from a corner in these matchups. It's not easy to do, so credit where it's due.
Entries 1 and 2 are gone. Entry number 6 is going to make their way to the ring. And it's going to be Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn's going to bide her time, too. Snow White has been flying to start this matchup.
Harley Quinn, a former hardcore champion, a former 2-time female fighting champion. As I recall, had a great showing back at the Royal Brawl Royal Rumble match, but now on the outside in harm's way. Snow White tried to follow up, but Harley got back in.
Really fighting as hard as she can right now, obviously. You know, it feels like Snow White's the one to beat so far. She's been landing in most of the offense on various competitors in this match.
Spinning heel kick from Snow White, a modified stunner there by Kim Possible to Belle. And now Harley in trouble again, up over the top rope, courtesy of Snow White. Can Snow White follow it up?
Landing in the shots, and there goes
Has been eliminated.
Harley Quinn. It was not a very long matchup for her in this one.
Yeah, very short appearance there for Harley. Big suplex there from Kim Possible.
Oh, Belle went for another, or not Belle, it was Snow White. She went for another one of those big punching moves, and Kim caught her.
Comes entry number 7. Again, we're nearing the halfway point of the field as there's only 20 participants in this Rumble match here. And it's going to be one half of Mystery Incorporated, Velma Dinkley coming in.
The massive shot to Belle. Now Belle's going to be in trouble. Big kick.
Boy, you could hear that echo through the arena. Belle's in trouble here.
Fought out of it.
Oh, double underhook into a power bomb by Belle.
It looked like it was going to be a pedigree at first. Being about as patient as they can right now for some reason.
Might have both been trying to compose themselves as Velma with an armbar over there on Snow White. You can't make your opponent tap out or submit. You can wear them down, however. That might be what Velma's thinking. I mean, hey, you take away the upper extremities, that's something that they're not able to use if they try and hold on to the top rope once they get thrown over, just like Velma was right there. Belle's in trouble right out here in front of us.
Over the top rope she goes. Now she's going to have to try and fight to hold on. She's got one hand on that rope. Somehow she's going to fight her way out of it.
Second time Velma was thrown over the top and she was able to fight back in as here comes entry number 8 as Snow White's in trouble on the near corner.
Oh, Kim went for a massive kick and it didn't connect.
And business is about to pick up. Former
boy.
Women's Universal Champion, former Women's Hardcore Champion, multi-time in that capacity, it's Wonder Woman.
Has been eliminated.
Velma just got eliminated by Snow White. Snow White has been working on eliminating Velma multiple times, finally got it done.
Now she's in trouble though. Big DDT. Belle's been in this matchup for a while now and she's still fighting as hard as she possibly can.
And now looking to maybe eliminate one of the biggest competitors here
again.
in this matchup. And a German suplex,
Wow.
a fisherman suplex actually, over the top, and Wonder Woman is gone. That's a massive elimination in more ways than one for Belle.
And I mean, that's the second time too that Kim Possible has went for a huge kick on Belle and it didn't connect. If she connected with that kick, that would have been it for Belle, but now Snow White's out of it too as they work together with that elimination.
Do you think that maybe the fatigue from the earlier matchup is causing Kim Possible to not be quite as accurate with those kicks?
I think that's a very fair question to ask. I mean, multiple times so far, she hasn't connected. She's had Belle lined up and never hit her target, but now Belle's gonna be in trouble here.
Kim Possible looking to eliminate Belle over the top,
That
and there
one
she goes.
Absolutely did connect.
Caught her flush. And
She
right
gets the
on the
rest up.
eve of entry number 9 coming in. I would assume this is going to be, well, never mind. It's Gamora.
Another
was
participant who is in action earlier tonight.
Yes. Is not locked into the tournament because of Kim Possible taking the pinfall in that tag team matchup.
Or at the very least, even if she's not able to qualify for the tournament and win this matchup, she at the very least can try to get a measure of revenge.
You don't want to showboat, especially up around that top rope in a
No.
match like this.
Lucky she fell backwards. I mean, showboating in a Royal Rumble style matchup is bad enough anyway, but when you do it all the way up there, I mean, you're basically asking to get eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have multiple individuals in the ring. Granted, it's a one-on-one right now, but to your point, you go up there, you're almost asking to be pushed over the top rope and get eliminated.
You're putting a sign on your back that says, push me.
Yes.
That's a huge running knee there.
Oh, gosh. Another
Lower.
knee there from Kim Possible, and then a
Another.
third.
That lower body offense, the knees and the kicks from Kim Possible is absolutely carrying her through these matchups tonight.
Massive lariat clothesline turns Gamora inside out, and we're about to be halfway through the field. Here comes entry number 10 as Gamora over the top and gone.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, it's a tall ask for Kim Possible to run the second half of the field, but could she do it? Now she's going to have to take on former female fighting champion Esmeralda, who most recently lost that title back at the Power Up PLE. It was a knockout matchup between herself and Mulan. Mulan now the new champion, the new holder of that title belt. Esmeralda looking maybe for a little level of revenge here to try and get into this tournament, try and get back into a title belt picture.
Kim thinking about her kick. Oh my goodness.
Gracious!
I mean, this feels like a gauntlet match. It's supposed to be a Royal Rumble style matchup, but it feels like a gauntlet because it feels like every time somebody comes in, Kim Possible just sends them back over the top rope.
And why is this important from Kim Possible? She was in that matchup earlier. This is valuable time to be able to regain strength, regain momentum here as she waits for the next opponent to come out.
I mean, we're just sitting here right now waiting for the timer to run out, waiting for the next participant to run back in. She doesn't have to do anything. She can try to hype up the crowd, win the favor of the crowd here while she waits.
I think for sure right now she's got to be considered one of the favorites, but there's still another 10 women behind that curtain that want to come out here and be involved. Timer begins. That well-needed rest. Will it be enough for Kim Possible to keep this kind of on a level playing field against the fresher opponent?
About to find out.
Oh boy. Well, we mentioned about the fact that there was an All I Want for Christmas Royal Rumble match back on Christmas Day. Cruella de Vil was the winner of that matchup as she comes in entry number 11.
This is going to be a heck of a test for Kim Possible. She had all that rest, but now you get put against somebody who's already had experience winning a matchup like this.
Cruella, a former female fighting champion and the inaugural Women's Universal Champion here in FWE, would love to be able to climb her way back up to the top of the mountain. As a matter of fact, remember, when she won that All I Want for Christmas Battle Royal, she ended up calling her shot for the Women's Championship against Poison Ivy, was unsuccessful in gaining the title. Gets another opportunity here tonight if she can win this Rumble match and advance into the Guardians of the Ring tournament.
I mean, she immediately won that matchup, grabbed the mic and said, give me the title shot at the Women's Universal Championship. So she knows exactly what her goals are. Problem is, when you keep going for that title shot through a Royal Rumble match, it gets harder because you have to outlast so many different competitors in that match site.
Well, it has been all Cruella since she hit the ring. That extra respite time for Kim Possible may have not been enough, as now Cruella hoists Kim up onto the top rope here. We're waiting for entry number 12 to make their way down.
Kim fights out of it.
And it's going to be the multi-time hardcore champion Jessica Shelton, who just a few weeks ago lost the hardcore title to Autumn Brooks. We know Autumn has locked herself into the field, being part of the winning team in the tag team matchup earlier tonight. Jessica Shelton would love to advance, and maybe those two's paths will cross again.
Maybe, and she immediately plants Cruella into the ring mat with some kind of a spear. Had a brief moment to rest too when she got back into the matchup because there was the elimination in progress. There would be elimination in progress. As there's a big kick.
You saw maybe a little unsteady on her feet after that kick for Kim Possible. The fatigue still setting in, it seems. As Cruella, oh, modified side stunner there to Jessica Shelton, and then just shoves Kim Possible away.
Now that we're up to 3 people in the ring, I almost wonder if this will take a little bit longer to get an elimination out of, and that could lead to even more participants going in. I think we've seen as many as 5 in the ring at once in this match.
I think you're correct. And again, you know, we ended up talking about it in the tag team matchups earlier. This is one winner in this Royal Rumble match, and it's not even a guarantee that you're going to end up winning the tournament. You're just fighting for an opportunity to be that last woman in the tournament.
It's just for a spot to get in, but it feels like it's worth it at the end because the more and more steps you take, the closer you get to a potential guaranteed shot at the Women's Universal Championship. As Black Widow's going to be the next participant.
Black Widow coming in at entry number 12, former hardcore champion in her own right. As a matter of fact, she and Jessica Shelton have some history involving that title belt, so it'll be interesting to see if those two lock up at some point. Black Widow's tag team partner, Shuri, is already locked into the tournament.
No way.
Another elimination for Kim Possible. I think I've lost count, but I think it's 3 eliminations so far for her.
I'm reminded right now of what Esmeralda was able to do when she was
Yes.
in a matchup like this. I forget what the exact circumstances were, but Esmeralda was just eliminating everybody. I don't think she won the match, but she clearly deserved to. There goes Kim.
Great showing here for Kim Possible. Multiple eliminations, but maybe the fatigue from the earlier matchup just too much to overcome.
Might have commentated once her. Might want to stay away from her backstage.
Shelton with a takedown there, Cruella DeVille, as we now await entry number 13. Lucky or unlucky, we'll have to wait and see as there goes
Look out.
Cruella. Oh, how about this?
Oh my.
Well, we heard this music play at the close of the women's power-up ladder matches. Moana won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and she's going to eliminate Jessica Shelton just like that.
That took no time at all. I mean, Moana is just on a roll right now in FWE, and winning that power-up briefcase, it's massive because she can challenge for a championship whenever, wherever she wants it. I mean, she's got a pretty long break right now in this matchup. Do you think she can cash in right now?
Probably, well, I don't know. I mean, there's a Rumble match going on. I'm not exactly sure how you would have an impromptu championship match, but let's consider this. We talked about the scenario earlier on tonight. We now know that Elastigirl has locked herself into the field in the women's tournament. If she ends up winning that tournament, then there's a big question mark on, you know, who she puts the title up against at Combat Evolved, if anybody. Consider if Moana's able to win this Rumble match, lock herself into the field, win the tournament, she could end up having 2 title shots at Combat Evolved if she's not successful the first time round of getting the belt.
Or she could have 2 successful ones at the same time. She could be
She
double
could.
champion too.
That's a good point.
The possibilities are absolutely endless when you have that briefcase in your possession.
And this massive amount of time here for a fresh Moana. She came in, 1 super kick, Jessica Shelton was gone. This is about a minute and a half of rest as she waits for entry number 14 to make their way out to the ring.
I mean, it was slightly extra rest to begin with. She was very fresh and very quickly got an elimination.
Well, I believe we have now seen all 4 competitors that were unsuccessful in winning in that tag match earlier on tonight. The last of them, Elsa, one half of the current Women's Disney Tag Team Champions.
So once again, trying to work her way into this tournament, join her sister and her tag team partner, Anna, as there's a big slam into the ring mat.
Also getting the early advantage here on Moana. It's certainly looking like the strategy for a number of the women has been get the eliminations early and as quickly as possible to have that allotted time to rest. Saw Kim Possible be able to do it. Most recently Moana, and now Elsa trying to do the same.
We already saw it work once for Moana.
We've seen a few times. We've seen 3, 4. You mentioned we at one point had 5 women in the ring at the same time, and it's kind of whittled down occasionally to these one-on-one matchups. Does that make it easier or harder to get an elimination?
Not totally sure. I mean, it's hard to get an elimination as it is, but you wouldn't know that based on the way these people are dropping like flies in this matchup. Moana in all kinds of trouble here.
Over the top rope, he did not hit the floor as we're now 3/4 of the way through the field. It'll be the second member of Mystery Incorporated. We saw Velma unsuccessful earlier. Here comes Daphne Blake. Daphne and Elsa have some history. At one point, Team Let It Go and Mystery Incorporated were fighting for the Women's Disney Tag Team Champions as champions and challengers. I was gonna say, it looked like maybe a little double team, little teamwork going on there with Moana and Daphne against Elsa, but then Moana tried to proverbially stab Daphne in the back with a drop kick.
There's a Hurricane Rana by Moana, trying to stay as sharp as she can. I mean, she already made a massive statement running into this matchup and immediately taking Jessica Shelton out of it.
Elsa's in trouble and Elsa's gone. There goes Moana as Daphne capitalizes.
And that right there is why you want to keep your head on a swivel. Just when you deliver offense on somebody, you gotta immediately turn around and pay as much attention as you possibly can, especially when you're right up against the ropes like that.
Well, you could see Moana, she was pretty upset. I think more so with herself than anything. To your point, took her eye off the ball and did not pay attention to the third individual in the ring, as now Daphne awaits entry number 16. And it's going to be Nebula, the other half of the Daughters of Thanos. We saw Gamora get eliminated earlier.
Haven't seen Nebula in quite some time, but he's going to have a pretty big opportunity here tonight.
Former Disney Tag Team Champion with her sister Gamora, a 2-time female fighting champion. As a matter of fact, both the matchups where Nebula ended up becoming female fighting champion was back when the title was defended in 8-woman battle royals. So you gotta wonder if that gives her an advantage in this type of a matchup, especially drawing a very late entry.
For an Irish whip, we've seen these type of moves be very deadly in a Royal Rumble.
Not just laying in the right hands, Daphne trying her best to cover up. Nebula now bringing Daphne over to the corner. Face first in that top turnbuckle, looking to eliminate Daphne as the timer ticks down to entry number 17. These are the entries you want to have when you're in this type of a matchup. What? It's Poison Ivy, the former Universal Champion.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is certainly a good way to try to work yourself back in the title contention.
I mean,
it's not a guarantee.
You already know Elastigirl is locked in, the woman that took the belt from Poison Ivy just last week at the Power Up PLE, a choice that Poison Ivy made in terms of who she wanted her challenger to be.
I mean, you would think that she gets a rematch clause. I'm not necessarily certain why she would go through the long way to try to get a championship back around her waist, but I guess she felt like she can handle the gauntlet. So.
Well, I mean, look at this type of a scenario. If she gets that title rematch, doesn't win the belt, you got another title shot coming up in July.
There you go.
Oh,
meeting of minds.
I think that would affect Daphne maybe more than it would Nebula.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that move either.
No, thank you. Daphne in trouble. Nebula's got her up there. perched on the top rope. Can Nebula eliminate Daphne and completely eliminate Mystery Incorporated's chances of having a representative in the Guardians of the Ring tournament, as here comes entry number 18. Nebula over the top, and inadvertently, Poison Ivy might have actually saved Nebula.
I'm not totally sure what her intent was there, but Nebula will take it.
And it's going to be Angelica Teach of the Black Pearl crew. We already know that Elizabeth Swan is locked in as Daphne is eliminated. Angelica Teach would love to make it 2 individual the Black Pearl crew involved in the tournament. Now looking to eliminate Nebula, and Angelica's on a tear.
What is in the water today? We have so many people getting eliminated rapidly in this matchup. You don't see that this often in a Royal Rumble.
Springboard forearm by Poison Ivy.
I mean, I can only imagine what's going to happen in our main event later tonight on the men's side.
Absolutely. Maybe a little bit more question marks on the men's side as the Ivy cutter by Poison Ivy. And now the problem is you got to get the dead weight over the top rope, but instead we're going to go swinging.
You're not going to throw her over the top rope, are you?
Well, we've had flying objects and wrestlers in the arena before. This would be no different.
And she's just going to disorient her opponent before sending her over the top rope. I mean, there's no way, right?
Angelica over the top. And there goes Angelica, the former champion, standing tall. Here comes entry number 18. And it's going to be Ellie, one half of Catching Fireflies. Oh, it meets an RKO right off the bat!
Welcome to the match, Ellie.
Gracious!
I don't know how she's getting up to her feet, even though Poison Ivy is calling for it. Look at, did you hear the sound it made when she landed that elbow?
And Ellie may be done and dusted right here, and she is. It just took 2 moves, and that is going to do it. Apparently my counter was off.
Here is your winner, Ivy.
Well, how about that?
Number 20. Yeah, how about that indeed? We got a former champion, the most recent former champion, going to lock herself into the women's tournament.
Poison Ivy now knows that she is going to join Jasmine, Elastigirl. How about that? Those two going to lock up again. Evil Queen involved as well in that fatal 4-way. The grid is locked. Now it's a matter of who's going to make their way to Guardians of the Ring.
Absolutely. And if you like the Royal Rumble matchups, well, don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we're going to be doing this all over again on the men's side.
Poison Ivy gets the final spot in the bracket tournament as she looks to get her title back. We'll see you right after the break.
Raise your hands, let the fire ignite. Bound by fate, we'll win this fight. Through the storm, hear the echoes cling. Side by side, we're the Guardians of the Ring.
Introducing the participants. First, representing the crew from overseas, weighing in at 175 pounds, the Captain, Jack.
Well, we get ready here for our main event tonight. I guess we could say our double main event, the second of our Royal Rumble LCQs, this time for the men's side, and Jack Sparrow, the Black Pearl crew, drawing the short straw, if you will, coming to entry number 1. And this is a matchup where you got to pace yourself. I'm not sure if I would be full sprinting down to the ring.
Yeah, the moment I saw the fire coming out of the ring post, I was kind of worried, because I knew that Jack Sparrow would come sprinting down to the ring like he always does. And to your point, I think you'd want to pace yourself. I don't think you want to spend too much energy in your entrance. Although, don't tell that to Jey Uso.
Well, it's been a great last 7 days for the Black Pearl crew. Will Turner the new power-up briefcase holder.
Oh,
Jack
boy.
Sparrow might like to make his way to, oh wow.
Drew number 2, representing the family from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 296 pounds, Michael Norman.
Now Michael Norman, who back at Royal Brawl, fought for the Tri-Wizard Championship and was unsuccessful. Another individual, though, much like Jack Sparrow, going to have to run the gauntlet here tonight.
Based on what we just saw in the Women's Rumble, I don't necessarily like the odds of these two, considering how fast the eliminations were coming into that matchup. It felt like there were a lot more one-on-ones than you normally would anticipate in a Royal Rumble-style match. So these two are definitely going to need to work as hard as they possibly can to pace themselves. It's going to be a long one.
Kind of interesting, too. Right now, no members of the family are locked into the Guardians of the Ring tournament. We may see Matt McIntyre later on in this Rumble match, who knows, but if they hadn't turned their back on Anthony, they'd have a representative, as he locked himself in the tag match earlier on tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's sort of where Michael Norman's been at as of late. I feel like ever since he lost that world title shot that he had back at the Royal Brawl PLE, I feel like he has been really dealing with what's been going on in the family ever since then, and the fractures that we've seen forming in that faction. It feels like his mind has been more there than any other championship shots. So, opportunity for Michael to regain focus, if you will.
Massive scoop slam there from Michael Norman to Jack Sparrow. And yeah, kind of going back to your point there, we've seen Michael's present a lot more often, involved in trying to help Matt McIntyre successfully retain and defend that United States Championship. We saw him take on Baymax one-on-one prior to the title match at Power Up, and of course as well had his presence felt at ringside in that title defense at the PLE, but he will not be going to Guardians of the Ring as Jack Sparrow eliminates Michael Norman very quickly.
That's another early elimination. Again, like I said, it was a trend in the women's matches, and it seems to continue to be a trend as we start the men's match.
Coming in at entry number 3 is going to be former United States champion Gaston.
Not really a whole lot of people you can call former U.S. champions, as that was almost an elimination right there. But Jack Sparrow was able to get the feet up and deny that one.
Now to your point, Gaston, Nick Gunther, and now most recently Matt McIntyre, the only 3 individuals who have been able to hold that prestigious United States Championship here in FWE.
Nick Gunther won that title before FWE was a weekly taped series, and Gaston was the man who took it off of him. He held it for a considerably lengthy amount of time, and then Matt McIntyre took it off of him, and he's had over 200 days in possession of the United States Championship. It's far and away the longest title reign we've had in FWE.
I was going to mention this prior to the conclusion of the Women's Royal Rumble matches. Gaston with a bear hug here on Jack Sparrow, trying to wear him down. Obviously, our field of women in FWE is slightly smaller than the men's side, and of course we already had 15 women that were locked in to the Guardians of the Ring tournament before that Rumble match began. So not quite as many question marks of who was going to be involved in that Royal Rumble match. Not the case here. There are a lot of possibilities on the men's side.
Absolutely. I mean, you just never know who's going to show up in this matchup.
Well, it's familiar music, but who is it? It is going to be Harry Potter, who we saw unsuccessful in the tag match earlier on tonight.
Jack Sparrow in trouble. He just went over the top rope. Gonna fight out of it, though.
That's smart by Harry Potter, one would have to wonder, because Gaston, if he had been able to eliminate Jack Sparrow, that would actually help Harry's odds.
That would have made it would have had a lot less people in the ring to deal with, but now it's with the fact, or I say a lot less people, it's just one less person, but now the fact that we have 3 individuals still in the ring here, it's going to make things a little bit challenging. You have to keep your head on a swivel.
Jack Sparrow might have been going for a shoulder tackle
Oh.
there. It did not move Gaston and Iota. That backstabber did, though. Now Gaston perched up against the ropes, and I think Jack was going to eliminate Gaston, and Harry got himself involved again.
Harry went for that drop kick, and Jack Sparrow didn't even feel it based on his reaction. But to your point, that might have cost him an elimination there.
It's the second time that Harry Potter has been involved in an elimination in progress. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him as Sparrow trying to take down Gaston with those knees. Neck breaker by Harry Potter, and here comes entry number 5. Well, we know who this is. We already know Luigi is locked into the field. Harry Potter and Mario were actually teammates, unsuccessful earlier on tonight in that tag match, and they're going to lock up immediately.
I'm not sure if you noticed it, but when Mario slid into the ring, he moved Jack Sparrow ever so slightly out of position, and Harry Potter was going for the spinning head scissors, and it didn't connect because of what Mario did.
Ring beginning to fill up here. It's now Gaston trying to eliminate Jack Sparrow, who came in at entry number 1.
Look
Harry
out.
Potter is gone. Clotheslined over the top by Mario.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Mario could run the whole gauntlet here, because we've seen those punches, those kicks. They're very, very powerful. Mario's not going to be an easy one to deal with.
Oh, wow.
Look at the way.
Yeah, Gaston going for that big left hook, and Mario blocked it.
I was going to
Couldn't
say, look at the way he
block
just
that,
caught that punch, but he's not going to block these moves.
Getting hit by a Mack truck. Those clotheslines by the tree trunk-like arms of Gaston, who again trying to eliminate Jack Sparrow. Gaston's been focused on eliminating Jack really ever since he came into the match.
They've been going at it for quite some time. I almost wonder if there might be a bit of repercussions after the match, assuming neither of them are able to win it, but there's a DDT for Mario.
Entry number 6 about to make his way in. Oh, you want to talk about big?
My goodness.
How about an over 7 foot tall individual in Paul Bunyan?
He struggled to get free at the bottom rope on his way into the ring. Look at the size.
You got to stack 2 Marios up to meet his height.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Now, one of the benefits of being the bigger individual is obviously you've got the power and strength on your side. However, it maybe makes you bigger target. As hold the phone here, Jack Sparrow might be setting up for a little 5-knuckle shuffle here in a Rumble match.
Told Mario, you can't see me. Oh, Mario did see him, though. And he met the big kick. I mean, Gaston has been on fire in this matchup.
Oh!
Oh,
Took his eye off the ball there, though, blindsided by the kick from Jack Sparrow.
I can't stop looking at the height difference.
How can
None
you
of these
miss it?
people come close.
Oh, there goes Gaston!
Has been eliminated.
I mean, Mario has dealt with people in the past like Bowser, but this is getting a little ridiculous.
It's like a grown man holding a child. And there goes Mario.
And that's how easily he can eliminate somebody. Oh, victim to that facebuster there, though, from Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow's been in this matchup for a while. He came in at number 1. He's still in it.
Oh, well, you may have spoken too soon, as now Paul Bunyan looking to eliminate him. Jack needs some help.
Do not tell me I just commentator cursed
Yes,
somebody.
you did.
Oh, my goodness. I
I'll
might
tell
need
you.
to lose the headset.
I'll tell you who I don't want to be. I don't want to be you if you're in the vicinity of Jack Sparrow or Kim Possible tonight. I also don't want to be entry number 7, King Candy, having to go one-on-one with the big man now.
I mean, we saw the move that King Candy was able to deliver the moment he walked in behind Paul Bunyan. But I mean, just look at this.
King Candy, a former Tri-Wizard champion, let's not forget, was one of the individuals that ended up defeating Dylan Young for the title, much like Shaggy Rogers, but ended up losing the title 1 week later.
How in the
Almost
world is
getting
King
eliminated
Candy still
here.
holding on? I mean, this is like when he was dealing with Wreck-It Ralph. There's a bit of a similarity between these two.
You think he would have to go turbo to be able to defeat Paul Bunyan?
Might need to rely on manipulating the code somehow.
Now Paul Bunyan with that massive bear hug on King Candy, just trying to wear him down. King Candy trying to fight out of it. I think right now, if you're King Candy, is try and weather this storm, wait for some help to come out from behind the curtain. If Paul Bunyan can eliminate individuals one by one before the timer runs out, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to beat.
It's a lot different in a group setting versus a straight up one-on-one, especially when there's a size disparity as this.
Whoa! Well, how about that? That's one way to get the big man out. Use his own momentum against him. King Candy with the elimination of Paul Bunyan, and in comes Carlos Zimmerman.
King Candy as savvy as ever. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do in that situation. Completely fooled Paul Bunyan. Use his own momentum against him, like you said, and there you go, the surprise elimination.
Carlos Zimmerman was involved in that tag match earlier on tonight, was on the losing team. Second chance here in this LCQ Royal Rumble matches. That bow and arrow submission across the knee.
The problem if you're King Candy is you just spent yourself trying to get rid of the tall guy, Paul Bunyan. Now you got to deal with Carlos, who's completely fresh.
Carlos may have been looking for an elimination right there, but the back elbow stuns him, and now locking in. It's hard to tell if that's a knee bar or a heel hook. Looking like maybe a heel hook there. Try and take away Carlos Zimmerman's vertical capabilities.
Oh, again! I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing. Full credit where it's due.
Not once, but twice he has suckered in his opponent into a false sense of security and been able to eliminate them, and now he awaits entry number 9.
Oh boy.
Well, from one individual that was unsuccessful in the tag match earlier tonight to another, it's the Intercontinental Champion Dylan Poteet.
Dylan Poteet, again, the current Intercontinental Champion. King Candy, a former Tri-Wizard Champion.
King Candy over the top, and he's gone.
I was going to say, Dylan, I think it looked like he hesitated for just a moment there because he knows what King Candy's been doing in this match.
Do you think that they actually are kind of watching what's going on in this Rumble match before they come out from behind the curtain?
I mean, it would be smart. Know exactly what kind of scenario you're getting into before you run into the ring, guns a-blazing, so
Dylan Poteet able to beat King Candy at his own game, so to speak, and now, much like we saw a couple of times in the women's Rumble match, gets an opportunity to kind of catch his breath. Again, another individual that's coming to this matchup can't be at 100%. He's already been in a matchup earlier on tonight.
got the quick elimination and now just waiting it out.
Getting ready here for our next competitor to make their way out, which will put us halfway through our 20-man field. Question mark. I believe I've got the number correct this time, but I'm not going to confirm it or deny anything.
We'll go until we hear a bell.
That's right. Well, how about this? Been a long time since we've seen Ezio in a ring. Believe he was in one of those qualifying matchups to be involved in the power-up ladder match, was unsuccessful, and now here going to be the latter portion of the first half of the field, going up against Dylan Poteet, who's going to hit him with a Pop Rocks.
I'm going to say it took Ezio not that much time to put Dylan in the corner, but Dylan responding with some nice offense here. But Ezio going to land that drop kick. These two trading blows here.
Both of these guys as well, very well-known high flyers in terms of their wrestling game, and that can kind of be a detriment as now Poteet up over the top. Ezio trying to eliminate him. Poteet's trying to hang on with a death grip there on that top rope, and it looks like he's going to maybe fight his way back in, but both ended up going for middle rope springboards. Again, you gotta kind of avoid those ropes for your offense, because that's your ticket out of the Rumble match.
Absolutely. absolutely. The closer you get to the edge, the closer, or the more danger you're in. Is another drop kick from Ezio.
Irish whipped off the ropes, leapfrogs over Poti, drop kick stuns him. Oh, I'm not sure what he was going for there, but Poti was able to block it. And in comes entry number 11. Well, I believe that this is going to be Fred Jones. Yes, it is, as Shaggy Rogers has already advanced his way into the tournament, being part of the winning team in that tag match earlier on tonight. Well, Potied up over the top. Ezio gets involved, doesn't let Fred follow up.
I'm gonna have Ezio over the top rope.
Ezio
Poti
hangs
just
on for
biding
the
his
time
time.
being. Yeah, this is smart. This is smart by Dylan. Well, as soon as I say that, not sure
had the
if
right
he
idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he even connected. I think that was a shot to the knee from Ezio, who blindsides Poti from behind.
Backstabber there from Ezio to Fred. It's all about timing. I feel like if you're Dylan, you just want to wait for these two to finish with each other before you go for an elimination. I mean, we saw it happen to Moana during the last match.
Interesting scenario here for Fred Jones. Looking right now at the winner of this matchup, where they would slot in the bracket. Let's hold the phone here. Fred, he's got Poti up against the ropes. Might be looking for an elimination here. Oh, look at the strength. Bench pressing him over the top and out to the floor.
In comes Kyle Matthews.
To be entry number 12.
And
Kyle is gone. Wow. Actually, correction, I believe this is entry number 13, and apparently it was unlucky number 13. That might be the shortest amount of time we've had in the matchups combined tonight.
Kyle's history in the Royal Rumble has not gone that great.
Not great. I was going to mention here, in the case of Fred Jones, the winner of this matchup is going to be put in the fatal four-way that is comprised of Robbie Gilvin, Thanos, and Shaggy Rogers. There is a possibility, if Fred Jones is able to win this matchup, that two members of Mystery Incorporated will make up 50% of a respective fatal four-way matchup.
I am horrified to imagine the fact that we almost had Thanos and Paul Bunyan in the same fatal four-way. The ring would not have survived.
No, it would not. Of course, as well, if you're just joining us, the other fatal four-ways have already been decided off that tag team matchup earlier on tonight as we await entry number 14. Oh boy, you talk about another big individual. It's the former Intercontinental Champion, one half of the Disciples of Darkness, Hades.
Hades got a very favorable entry as well.
I mean, there's a scenario now you could have Thanos and Hades in the same matchup.
Ezio, though, trying to eliminate him pretty quickly. It's going to be hard to do that in the corner.
Especially by yourself. I think you're probably going to need Fred Jones to come over and help you, with Hades being as fresh as he is.
Oh my!
A back elbow to Fred, stifled it for a moment, but that kick sends Hades over the top, and he is out.
The shocker eliminations that we've seen here tonight have been nothing short of incredible.
We're back again to Ezio versus Fred. It's now Ezio looking to eliminate Fred Jones, and he's going to eliminate him, and now Ezio stands alone.
Once again, has a moment to rest. Take all the time you need. Make sure you're as fresh as you possibly can be.
while we've got the moment, bring you up to date on the current, well, hold on. As soon as I get ready to, exactly. It's like I'm invoking the timer. This will be entry number 15. Now I believe, yes indeed, this is Michelangelo, because Raphael is already locked into the tournament, being involved in the power-up ladder match and being unsuccessful. So Michelangelo with a chance of having 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the tournament bracket.
Feels like the Ninja Turtles have been all over the title picture ever since they made their big comeback at, I think it was Mortal Kombat where they made their return, and you saw the other half of that team, Leonardo and Donatello, ultimately win the Men's Disney Tag Team Championships. I believe they're still holding those titles.
Yes, they are. Multi-time holders of those belts, still awaiting to see who their next #1 contenders will be. I'm gonna quickly see if I can run through this here, as I've been trying for the last couple of entries. Right now, the other 3 Fatal 4-Ways that are official now after what we saw earlier tonight, as there goes Michelangelo eliminated. But it's gonna be Cusco, Anthony McCrory, Elmo, and Ernie the Keebler Elf. In another one, it'll be Dylan Young, Macaulay Jack Mitchell, Flynn Rider, and Luigi. And then Raphael, we just saw his teammate there, Michelangelo, get eliminated. He will go up against Maui, Aladdin, and Mr. Incredible. The winner of this matchup will face off against Thanos, Shaggy, and Robbie Gilvin. And it'll be Thor coming in at entry number 16.
And Ezio says hello to Thor with another massive drop kick. Definitely not afraid of the strength that might be possessed by the God of Thunder, but let's see what Ezio has in store.
Something I found kind of interesting when I was going through my notes in preparation for this matchup was, if you were kind of looking at a favorite statistically, well, you wouldn't have been able to look on either the men's or the women's side at the former Royal Brawl, Royal Rumble winners, because Ernie's already locked in on the men's side, Mulan is already locked in on the women's side.
And we don't really have anybody who necessarily succeeded. I mean, the closest thing you could think of was on the women's side when Cruella de Vil was in that matchup. It was an All I Want for Christmas Battle Royale, but
and the winner of that on the men's side was RJ Bishop, the current Tri-Wizard champ.
Yeah, RJ doesn't necessarily need to enter himself in this if he doesn't want to. I mean, we say that with Elastigirl having entered the tournament, but
true.
RJ, unless RJ comes down the stage here and enters this Royal Rumble style matchup, he doesn't really need to enter this match. He can focus on defending his title against whoever comes his way.
Ezio has kind of had the same type of a matchup as we saw Kim Possible have earlier, but her luck ran out, and Ezio keeps this momentum going, and oh no.
Oh my.
This is bad news if you're Ezio.
Or is it?
Former tag team champion's gonna lock up here.
I'm gonna say it should be bad news, but these two clearly are putting business first.
Thor and Hulk, former holders of the Men's Disney Tag Team titles. Hulk, a former Tri-Wizard champion, was the inaugural winner of the men's briefcase. Now turns his attention to Ezio. Big back elbow gonna drop Ezio down to the mat.
Look at the speed.
Follows up with a massive splash. We end up seeing the possibilities of Paul Bunyan or Hades being in that Fatal 4-Way with Thanos, and he's gonna eliminate his own partner.
Look out.
There goes Hulk.
We saw the exact same thing happen to Moana in the women's match, and it happens again to Hulk. He eliminates his tag team partner, but he's not paying attention. He doesn't have his head on a swivel. Ezio is right there to take Hulk out of it.
What a matchup for Ezio. He's been kind of an unknown here in FWE. We haven't seen him all that often. He's been in a few qualifying matchups, never really been in the title picture. This is kind of a show-out performance for him, win or lose.
I'm glad you're the one who said it and not me, considering
Did I just jinx it now?
Tonight.
Gosh darn it.
Homer Simpson going to be the next one in the ring.
Wow, and how about this? I mean, we're going to be, of course, having our semifinal matchups for both the men's and the women's side of the tournament at our third iteration of Saturday Night at Springfield. For Homer Simpson, if he's able to advance in the tournament, make his way to the semifinals, he could be going into with a little bit of home field advantage.
He very well could be. Backstabber there.
Oh, Homer up over the top. Can Ezio get himself another elimination here?
Lining it up in his head.
Costing himself some valuable time. Yep, I don't know exactly what he was waiting for, but I'm now going to try it again, and this time he's going to eliminate Homer.
I mean, Ezio has just made quick work of everybody.
Well,
Trying to wonder who else can be left.
Yeah, if my math is correct, 2 more men to beat, as Homer Simpson came in at entry number 18.
There we go.
Again, tonight has been about setting the field, locking in those to-be-determined slots. The Guardians of the Ring tournament kicks off this Saturday night on FWE Extra, and here comes the Joker at entry number 19.
This should be a heck of a clash. I mean, Joker, this is a golden opportunity for him. He's kind of also sort of been under the radar here in FWE. One of the few tag teams with himself alongside the Penguin that have never won the men's tag team titles.
He drew a really good number as well. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember what number Ezio came in at. He was certainly down towards the midway portion of the field, and he may be gone right here. Joker's got him over the top rope, but he gave him a chance to get back in.
I can't figure out for the life of me what Joker was waiting for. He had Ezio in a precarious spot. He didn't take advantage. Why would you not pull the trigger?
Could come back to bite him. We'll have to see here as a Hurricane Rana by Ezio takes Joker down. Joker obviously the freshest individual. Now he's over the top rope, and Ezio will follow up.
And there you see the difference between these two competitors. Ezio, no hesitation whatsoever. The moment he had Joker in a dangerous spot, he pulled the trigger, and down goes Joker.
Well, maybe that just kind of plays into Joker's mentality where he kind of likes to play with his food, but it came back to haunt him.
You can't do that.
No, you can't. Not in this type of a matchup. Final competitor to come down to the ring. The last one standing between Ezio. Oh my!
Well,
it's the United States champion Matt McIntyre, the other member of the family, and he's going to go right to work here on Ezio.
You were wondering whether or not we'd see any members of the family, and now Matt McIntyre, a golden opportunity to take advantage of a weakened and tired Ezio.
Ezio over the top. Matt tried to push him off the apron, unsuccessful in doing so. Oh, whatever Ezio was going, maybe was going for that airplane head scissors, but Matt blocked it.
Again, Matt McIntyre, the longest reigning champion of any kind in FWE, has held the United States championship for over 200 days with an iron grip. Took on Baymax at Power Up, still came up victorious.
Albeit a count-out victory, but a victory is a victory nonetheless with champion's advantage. Up over the top. Ezio looking to eliminate Matt!
Oh, there he goes!
Matt's feet hit the floor! And I guess my counting was wrong because I think we have another competitor! Never rely on me for numbers!
Well, in spite of our inability to count, I mean, what a showing from Ezio.
I mean, how many eliminations has this been for him? It's got to be at least a half dozen.
I've lost count. I wish I remember what entry he came in with, because oh my goodness. Well, here comes another former family member, and Cole Eastwood, who delivers a massive drop kick to Ezio right out of the bat.
Former tag team champion as well. We saw one half of the Rockers advance their way into the Guardians of the Ring tournament, and Anthony McCrory earlier on tonight. We also saw Autumn Brooks of the Rockers advance her way in her tag team matchup. Could they go a perfect 3 for 3 here this evening?
They've got the opportunity to do that. I mean, both Anthony and Autumn, too, got the winning pinfalls in those matchups.
Big back elbow from Cole Eastwood. Ezio has been in here a long time. He's got numerous eliminations, and this may be the end of his dream. Cole Eastwood's got him up on the top rope. Can he eliminate Ezio?
Trying to hang on for dear life, can't find any leverage. Finally lands a punch to the side of Cole's head. These two gonna stare each other down for the moment. This is the final two. This is
the final two. We can confirm it here. Whoever goes over the top rope and is eliminated will not advance into the tournament. The winner will get the final LCQ spot.
Both of them were thinking about a drop kick at the same time. Neither one connected.
Eastwood's the freshest individual, came in at the coveted number 20 entry. Ezio has been in this matchup for a long time, at least half the matchup. He's had numerous eliminations. He cannot be at 100%. The fatigue has got to be setting in.
Ezio delivered a kick to the leg of Cole, and Cole was still able to keep his other foot on the ground to get enough leverage to not be lifted up over the top ropes. Goes down there, though.
Backstabber. Corkscrew moonsault.
Cole's in all kinds of trouble.
And now looking to eliminate Eastwood up over the top rope. Can Ezio make his way to the tournament? He will!
Here is your winner,
Well, in spite of our inability to count the number of entrants in this matchup, there is no denying that Ezio was a powerhouse in this match. He's definitely going to be a force to reckon with in this tournament.
A show-out matchup for him, as there you see it. He is now added to the Fatal 4-Way with Shaggy Rogers, Thanos, and Robbie Gilvin. And Jack, we now have the field for both the men's and the women's side. We are officially on the road to Guardians of the Ring.
Cannot wait. Looking forward to my matchup in this tournament. It's all for a guaranteed shot at the men's championship, the Tri-Wizard Championship on the men's side, and the Women's World Championship.
We'll see you for FW Extra as we begin the tournaments this Saturday night.